Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Foundry Reviews. Today, it is I, Sly, accompanied by John, and we're going to be reacting to the first episode of Secret Invasion. How you doing today, bud?
Doing pretty good, man. Little kind of up in the air how I feel about the show so far, but yeah, we're gonna be checking out the very first episode, Resurrection, right?
Yep, Resurrection. That is the title.
This is pretty much a sequel to, I guess you could say, like the Captain Marvel film, which took place like 30 years ago at the time this is at.
Pretty much. I think because this is modern day. This is all caught up.
Yeah, after the blip and everything like that, which is pretty.
I'm that
yeah,
word.
They're still doing that like 5 years
Still
later.
a thing.
Yeah, they were still like, oh, it's the blip. It's everything to do with the blip. Oh, remember the blip when this happened? I was really excited at the very beginning of the show because I saw Martin Freeman because I fucking love him. And I really like him, and he's great, and it's fucking sick. And I really like the beginning of the whole episode where the one agent's like Pepe Sylvia and shit.
That's what I was thinking too.
Literally,
he's got his whiteboard. He's like, it's all connected, man. Scrolls.
I got boxes full of flag smashers, man. It's just like,
God damn it.
the entire time I've watched this episode, I'm like, it was mad as fuck. There was nothing like kind of drawing me, like nothing that was like, oh man, this is good. I just kind of fucking consumed. Ben Mendelsohn is a great actor. I really enjoy his performance. The show already feels extremely low rent, and because they're just permanently like, let's not use our scroll bodies anymore. It's like, oh,
it's
why?
amazing. They've got a great cast, but they've got such subpar writing and just like storytelling that the show kind of falls short. It's
Marvel.
like, bro, you literally have Sam L. Jackson. You've got the lady playing Maria Hill, who's fucking class. Yeah. You've got Mendelsohn. You've got, what's his name from the fucking beginning, from all the Black Panther movies?
The guy from Gravik. Guy who plays Gravik.
Thank you.
He's great too. Yeah. I really enjoy him and a lot of other stuff. I don't know his name, but yeah, so it's just kind of like the same story of Falcon the Winter Soldier. It's just like a bunch of terrorist attack trying to get the nations to fight each other to pretty much have all-out wars that the Skrulls can pretty much have Earth, I guess, and they just waited patiently for 30 years for Nick Fury to fuck off, I guess. And
what I was catching from like this whole thing, like they keep setting up this idea that like Nick Fury kind of like let them down. He like promised them they'd find like a place, which that was kind of promised in Captain Marvel. Yeah. But like they made it seem like because of the blip, since he was absent for that 5 years, 10 years, 5 years, they made it seem like, oh, blah blah blah, we moved on because of him, kind of thing. Yeah. And I'm not catching that. Like the stakes are not there, and that was the same issue with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You had these like Bush League World Peace people, whatever the shit their name was, and I just couldn't feel any actual concern because the stakes were not serious enough.
Yeah. I don't. It's just another very dull and empty, and nothing has any like kind of substance behind it. Like all I did was just kind of, I just consumed it. I thought the intro of the show, like the first couple minutes, were pretty good. I thought it was a cool little twist where like, oh, Skrulls don't, radiation doesn't affect them. Like, oh, that's kind of neat. Like I thought that was just generally kind of cool. How they have their secret hideout like at Chernobyl at the reactor 4 that blew up. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. They just straight up were like, we're taking their skin and mobilizing them so they can never be a person ever again. So that way we never have to fucking use our budget for CGI. Because that's what I was really worried about. And thanks for confirming that I'm not going to see anything fucking cosmic in the show, that it's going to be extremely grounded. And I know what they said as well. They're like, oh yeah, we're not going to have anything from the comic book or anything like that. It's just Secret Invasion in name. Like, all right, cool, whatever. Skrulls, I don't give a shit about. I like Ben Mendelsohn. He seems kind of like a chump when it's just like, oh, there's a big fight with a Skrull. It's hand-to-hand combat with a 70-year-old black man and Ben Mendelsohn, who's an alien. And it was just like some sloppy fighting, and Sam Jackson just shoots at him like fucking sick. Like, this is what I'd look forward to. I know. Like, that's my action. See, that's my most exciting scene in the episode is that. It's like, man, then just every single character has to go up to Samuel L. Jackson and tell him, you are not the same Nick Fury. You have been impacted by some trauma in the past, and you are still psychologically dealing with it, and it's affecting you. It's like, cool, thank you. I could not come to that conclusion myself further in the series or anything, but thank you for having like 10 characters confirm that for me.
You couldn't, you know, show me that. You
my
had to tell
brain
me
is
that.
too fucking slow and stupid, obviously, because I'm tuning into this show. So thank you for that writing, because I could not have come to that conclusion myself. I'm getting angry.
You gotta hold my hands, yeah.
The show, I get angry just because I'm like, it's getting old that Marvel keeps making, I hate saying this, mid fucking shows, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to keep fucking watching these mid-ass television shows. Like,
And I hate it because I'm hearing a lot of arguments that people are saying, like, oh, it's just because, like, our standards were so high after Endgame. And I'm like, no. That is not it. That is not it. It's that this is just genuinely bad storytelling. And, like, you know, you have
lazy.
directors literally telling them, saying, hey, before you write this, don't watch any of the previous things. Don't read any comics. They actually did that for this. They told them. They're like, do not do any comic book research. Yes. And I'm like, why would you, one, tell them to do that? And then second, admit that to the public right off the bat. Hey, we're drawing zero inspiration from these comic books. Clearly, by the way your performance has been so dog shit lately, maybe you should consult the storylines on the comics because those succeeded.
Yeah, like they're infamous and popular for a reason. And it's already written for you, so you just fucking...
Exactly.
It's baffling. It's actually baffling how they just keep fucking this up. I just don't even know like how to even just kind of... Besides, they're like, hey guys, we have ever to tune in anything MCU related. I haven't finished What If. I haven't even seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I've yet to see the Black Panther sequel. Everything else in the last phase has disappointed me so far. That Quantumania was also shit. We're gonna try to get out those reviews to you guys eventually and stuff. We're trying to get back on the ball. You know, just to shit on the MCU because someone's got to do it. And like what James Gunn even said himself, he's like, most of the writers and directors have gotten extremely lazy with superhero films when it's come from Kraven the Hunter, or it's come to Shazam Part 2, you know, or even Black Adam and other like superhero films. Like there's just nothing good anymore. And it's like, no, you didn't run out of ideas. Like there's still plenty of ideas, you know, like there's still lots and lots to do. You don't need to keep doing the same formula. It's just like, it just sucks, you know, because I really like a lot of those characters, you know. I like seeing them on screen for I wait 5 years for like, oh, fucking Doctor Strange 2 is out now. I wait 5 years for it, and I'm like, because I really like that character, and I get to see him on screen again. It's like, great, they fuck up the writing because they just get fucking lazy. And the same thing with Star Wars with Disney. It's just everyone will just eat it up no matter what, and they were just expected. It's just expected of that, you know. And it's like, they just have these shows for no fucking reason. There's no reason to have this production whatsoever at all. Like, at all. There's no reason for it at fucking all, you know? For making these shows and some of these
I think that's what's worse. They're making shows about shit that nobody fucking asked for.
Who the fuck gives a shit about Echo, man? Because no one gave a fuck about Hawkeye. Like, no one will give a fuck about Echo, you know? And if you're going to do it, like, do it right when it's ready, you know? When it's ready, then do it, you know? If it's a cool
Nobody wanted a solo film for Black Widow. As much as they enjoy her character, nobody wanted that solo film. How did it do?
She was fucking dead. What the fuck's the point?
Yeah, they only gave her a solo film after she was fucking dead.
Where the fuck's... Soon, they're gonna make a Hulk film in about 10 years when it's far too fucking late and no one gives a shit anymore. When the people have been talking about for the last, like, 6 years how they want to see a Hulk film solo, you know? And what
Don't forget, they gave you She-Hulk.
She-Hulk. With him and his fucking son. His fucking child. That's what we look forward to. You know?
Forgot about that shit. Oh.
Yep. That just fucking racked my brain. And it's just like, that's what we're doing. Like, that's where we're at. It's like, why? Like, why are we doing this? Why are we torturing ourselves? Like, why are they making this shit that we have to fucking swallow and consume? That we gotta put into a fucking blender, do the fucking high-end blend on it, add a little bit of milk to it, and then we gotta sip on that shit all day long. Gotta sip on that shit for 7 days until we get our fucking refill on Tuesday night or some shit, you know, when the fucking show comes out.
Straight from the teat, something like that. I don't know. I could give a shit, to be honest. The show comes out. Honestly, they did zero fucking marketing for this show. When you told me, you're like, we're doing a react, I was like, to what? To what?
To what, boss?
Bro, what?
What are we doing?
what are we doing, boss? I'm getting paid by the hour. I didn't even know about this. And then I went on Disney. I was like, oh shit. Okay.
it's
Well,
fucking
that
out.
slipped through the cracks. Yeah. Dude,
Fucking
that's
all their
not
shit,
good.
like slips through the
that's a poor, that says a lot about the current state of the MCU. You know why the MCU is doing so bad right now? Because it's an acronym for come.
You know what? It's just like they probably didn't plug it all because they're like, oh, it's gonna be like it's gonna be bad. Like it's gonna be critically bad. That's what it's probably.
Shouldn't have made it then, dude. Can you imagine what the budget is for this? You have Sam L. Jackson there. He's like 50% of the budget.
I swear to God, probably. Let's look at the budget per episode for.
Yeah, he's got to be half the
MVP.
budget, dude.
For fucking Marvel's Secret Invasion. Who's like, oh man, you know what? Like, oh, what's going on, dude? It's like, oh, dude, the Skrulls. Their storyline was never finished. I'm really curious. Like, what happened to the Skrulls, man? What happened? Said no one ever.
His paycheck was for $20 million for just this show.
Wow.
I'm telling you, man.
For 6
has to be
fucking episodes. I mean, like, at least they have like a clear, like, I guess, bad guy character, you know, and an antagonist, which is nice. Trying to think of something nice to say about it. What is the budget?
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I think what these shows are missing is a good pacing, storyline, and then the way they write off villains or write out villains. It's always the cliche, oh no, they got killed by their own actions. Ooh. And then it's like, cool, I never get to see this cool iconic character you created ever again. Or the shitty ones, they end up staying and I'm like, okay, literally nobody wanted this. And you kept him around.
What was Sam Jackson's partner who died in this episode?
Oh, Maria Hill. Yeah.
And it's like,
dude, that
they need
pissed
something.
me off.
They needed
so
something
much.
exciting to happen, so they just get rid of her character. You know.
I was like, why? What did killing her serve?
What is
at all?
What is him serving in the field doing anything? He's a 70-year-old man, you know, who clearly fucking cannot handle shit. Who's like, everyone's like, oh, Samuel L. Jackson, you know, he just doesn't have that edge anymore. You know, he's not a good age anymore. I'm like, yeah, he's very true. He's not doing great at his job.
He shouldn't be in the field. He's the tactician to me.
A teenager got away with a bunch of fucking warheads, you know? Like, good. Like, that's where you guys are at, the former director, or like a fucking SHIELD. How do you go from Winter Soldier type of shit, where he's being like an amazing spy, getting intel like a mean motherfucker, you know? And then you go to this, and it's like, come on, dude. Like, be fucking consistent. Be fucking consistent, please.
For real.
It's kind of stupid. I think it's very stupid. I would like it to be consistent. I'm just tired of it being so shit.
I am too, brother. I am too. I so badly, especially because the last phase was such a waste. It just blew by, and that was something you and I were so hyped about years ago, and then it happened, and we're like, this was the most underwhelming garbage cinema in general that we've seen in a long time. It made me miss things like Iron Man 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. It's like, man, like thinking like, oh, it's the good old days kind of shit.
Like, honestly, like it had that meme with the Thanos, perhaps I treated you too harshly, to like Thor 2. Like movies that got bashed like rats literally are better than some of the modern things that Phase 4 had to offer.
It's like, at least, like, you had mistakes to learn from as well, you know? Like, you had those mistakes to learn from. Thor 2, like, it had a reason to be bad, you know? They were still feeling out that fucking character. But, like, shit now, like, how do you not get your footing? And, like, we're bashing Marvel as a whole, and not specifically this show. That's, like,
Correct.
when I say, like, oh, it's such cinematic shit and shit writing, it's like, it's literally, we're just talking about the first episode. I'm just unimpressed. I'll give it a fucking 6, you know, 6.5.
To tell you the truth, yeah, I'm gonna give the episode, I'll give it a 7, because like it had my interest, because I like espionage. I like espionage, and I love to see thrilling things like that. But at the end of the day, it did nothing that like surprised me or kept me on the edge of my seat. And it had this weird like relation between Emilia Clarke's character, who's like the daughter Kira or some shit.
I did like
the other guy. Yeah,
her being pulled on both sides, you know.
I like that, but you know, towards the end of the episode, I was like, okay, well, clearly that I can't tell like if she like turncoat or the other guy was just like 10 steps ahead of her and knew she'd double cross. I'm like, this is all like kind of counterintuitive and at the end of the day, it leaves me more confused as a viewer, which I do not enjoy. So what the fuck? Not my favorite thing that Marvel's made. No.
Yeah.
Not off to a good start.
I'm just not looking forward to any episodes in the future.
I feel that. We'll see how this show goes. It'll be interesting to have Ken's opinion too once he's back. We'll be definitely getting him in on this so we can have the three of us pull different points of view. But no, this is a rocky start for Secret Invasion.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, it's do with the scrolls, and it's like I've seen minimal. Like Scrolls made an Easter egg and after credits thing, and they went barely any detail with it with Guardians of the Galaxy, with like the Ronin and the War on Scrolls and Scrolls and Captain Marvel. And it's like we barely know anything about it and whatnot. But like I said, like I really like Ben Mendelsohn. I think he's a fantastic actor. He's cool.
Dude.
Yeah, I guess we can go ahead and give this first episode a 7. You know, super unimpressed, and it's just like, yep, it is what it is. You know. And I'm sure it'll go down. I'm sure I'll be a first, like, 3 decent first episodes, and the rest will be downhill.
Oh, yeah. You know how it is. It's a formula for them, I'm telling you.
Yeah. For sure. All right, you guys. But I think that's going to go ahead and call it for this episode. You know, let us know what you guys thought of the first episode of Secret Invasion. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll see you guys later on episode 2 review. But until then, bye, everybody.
Bye.